Alright, for this video, we're actually going to be talking about really the story of your cinematics and the main part of also showing you how to follow really intricately with your cinematics. Like actually following the scene and all that. With that being said, I'm going to let you know right now, the story of your cinematic does not need to be complicated, but it needs to be something that people can follow and understand what's going on in the scene. Your story can literally be unspoken. Nobody has to speak, nobody got to talk. But if people can understand what's going on, then it's fine. Now, for instance, off the bat, my character has a gun and he's walking down the stairs. What do you think he's doing? Probably about to go shoot people. Or probably about to do something bad. Because he has a bandana on, he looks like a gangster, right? Cool. All you gotta do, off of just seeing that one thing, you understand what's going on. And also, you understand that basically, based off of the fact that this is an actual video and not a photo, you can kind of already see what's gonna happen. He's gonna walk down the stairs, he's gonna go to other places. Now, you may not know what this area is, and off the video that I made, you feel me? The previous video that I made talking about scenery, you probably don't even know where this is, you don't know what's going on, but you know, well, you most likely already know what's going on based off of just this, but you can kind of already understand some things. You don't understand everything, but you understand enough off rip. Now, I already told you how to use blend method, photos, all that. I already told you how it goes. So for this, right, my character's already ran down this area really fast. He's sprinting, right? Cool. Now I just need to move my camera over to meet him. Do this. Keep on following. Boom, right? Showing that these people are shooting, right? So now you understand more about this scene already, while it's still being made. Like, this is me literally making the video as we're speaking. So, boom, boom, speed up, meets shooting. Now, some of you might have noticed that at this point, the camera like really sped up. In case you didn't know, the shorter the amount of time between the clips, the faster it will go. Now, pretty sure that was obvious to most people based off of, you know, previous video and how it worked, but in case you really didn't notice it, or I didn't explain it clearly enough, that's how it goes. Now, I'm gonna let you know right now, the scene that I'm making right now is more or less in my style, excluding the fact that the finer details are not putting in. For instance, depth of view is just focused on my character, 60, not changing it, not doing too much, but however, I do need to change it to default right now, and then show that he's getting killed, and then I need to show you the other person up here, and I need to zoom out so you can see this. I'll probably have the camera move back right around here so you can actually see the scale of what's going on. Now, people aren't dying, cool, like you don't see them actually dying on camera, it doesn't fucking matter. You see them shooting everybody, and you know that people are dying, well, really just the cops. You know what's happening. Nothing too crazy, right? Boom. He jumps down, moving. Alright, cool. Now, with that being said, you need to understand that if you don't know where to go from a scene here, even though you already know the story and all that, you can make necessary cuts. Like, for instance, right here, I could have had it where instead of continuously following this, I could have had a cut and put the camera right here. But that's not in my style. I'm actually going to show you how to make one continuous shot off of this, as well as telling you how to really follow a story with this. So, gonna continue watching, seeing as the path that they're going. I already know where they're going. They're going up the hill and running over into one of my facilities. It's not really a facility, but it's an apartment there. Not apartment. It's a nightclub. We're running over to the nightclub. Nothing crazy. Doesn't make total sense that you're running to a nightclub, but like, hey, fuck it, bro. Like, it's just the same as be showing off killing. It doesn't need to make too much sense unless you're trying to make it make a lot of sense. In which case, yeah, make sure that the reason why they're running to the area or what they're doing or the scale of what they're doing makes sense. Now, these guys have guns. This guy has armor on. Like, this isn't too crazy. This is something that you could genuinely see. This could be like a heist, like a literal heist happening in real life. Like, it's not too crazy. It's not too out of the woodwork, right? Everybody except for the guy in all white, which is not all white. The guy in the white with no armor on, which is me, that my character has armor on. Literally everybody else. My character doesn't. Does that really matter? No. But it's the little details into the scene. Now, again, I've already told you that this is really just me supposed to be shooting people. It doesn't need to make too much sense because I'm just shooting people, and I told you this is it. And at the end of the day, you already understand that this is just for a cinematic video. Not a cinematic video. This is really just so that you guys understand how to make Rockstar editors. This is all it is. This is all this is meant for. This is not meant for anything else. Like, I'm not about to upload this and be like, yeah, this is my cinematic, guys, because trust me, I make far better cinematics when they're fully done, edited properly. I put the more time into it. There's more development into it. So yeah, with that being said though, let's continue with the video, right? I'm saying that right now the camera was like right here, right? I need to have it where it can still keep everybody in like in camera. So just coming back into camera placement, all three of the heroes or protagonists or whoever you want to call them need to stay in the camera, and they need to stay on a certain side of the camera unless it's supposed to be showing them doing like really fast movement or some shit, right? Unless it's supposed to be like super crazy or whatever. These guys are the focus. So the focus needs to stay on the camera. It needs to stay in. It needs to make it where you can actually see the majority of them without your eyes having to really focus too much on everything else. So I need to keep them more or less in the middle. Now I can't have it like this, but I also know how the video will work out in the end. So it's probably better to keep it like this, where, well, actually no, not like that. Probably closer to this, where it's predominantly. No, I need to focus more on it. It's alright if you don't get it all for it, but you need to predominantly have it where it's middle to right, or middle to left, or just middle, or middle up and middle down. It doesn't need to be on. It doesn't need to be taking up too much of the camera space, or that'd be wrong. It really just needs to be where the photo itself, well, not the photo, the video itself. If you're just trying to show the face, that's cool. You can have it where the face is taking up the majority of the frame, but it does not need to literally be like you're just looking at lips, unless that's the focus of what you're trying to do. Like, you don't need to be zooming in on people unnecessarily unless that is the focus of it, and it's supposed to look cool, it's supposed to look dynamic. That's what you're trying to do that. But understand, like, if the scene is supposed to be us shooting, and I randomly cut to this guy's eyeball, just look like, just literally just his eyeball like this, like literally like this, because you could go into their face. If I just show a scene like this and he's just moving, there's an issue for most of y'all. It's like, what the fuck? And then zooming in like this is like, yeah, it looks cool, but like, let's be honest, man, which one looks more dynamic? What I was showing you, this long scene of everybody shooting and running and everything, or this guy's eyeballs? Yeah, I already know. It's better just to keep it like this. Now I'm getting a little off topic, but at the same time I do have to kind of explain some minor details, because to me it'll be like really obvious, like, oh yeah, just don't do this, right? But obviously you came here for a reason. You need to know. Alright, so now you're saying that shooting, car crashed, right? Now, based off the fact that I saw the car crash, I already knew it was about to happen, actually. Now, I didn't have somebody do it, but I knew the AI was just kind of wonky and just drove in there. It looks really nice. So it'll be better, right, if I move the camera away from this guy and cut him off. Why? Because you already know he's there. You don't need to keep him in the frame. But you just said keep the people in the frame. Yeah, you can keep people in the frame, but if I want to focus on this person, or I want to focus on this person who is actually about to see the car crash, that black car right there, which is an AI that went walkie. He might have died and just flew in here, but still. With that being said, right, if you're trying to show off other stuff that's happening and keep it very dynamic and very interesting and very fucking crazy, where it actually looks like a literal like movie type shit, yeah, you can ignore, well, not necessarily ignore, but you can cut people out the frame. You don't need this person here. You don't. You can just have words focusing on this person. But I already stated previously that I'm wanting to get up to show off the car crashing in there because that looked really nice. So now I can do this with the camera like this. It zooms in a little bit more because now instead of showing you everything, now you're seeing in a more condensed space. So it's like this. Still seeing that the cops are dying. I need to turn off that. It's not supposed to be like that. Now, it did take a little while to actually get up to there, but I want it where it's like this, and I'm gonna have it where it actually turns more. So right around here, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be more of a curve. I want it to be more of a curve because right now it's really just moving. Previously it was just moving in a straight line to the area, but I actually want it to curve. So boom, decent little curve. Yeah, people are running in the middle of people's gunfire. Oh, that's super unrealistic. Ooh. Again, based off of what you're doing for the cinematic, if I'm just showing you how to do it, it doesn't really matter too much of like the finer details, but the better you make your cinematics, the more those finer details will be nitpicked. That's why you'll see in movies, it'll be like this minute detail of like, whoa, bro, this guy's watch was on his left hand. Now it's on his right hand. Then it's back on his left hand. Like, bro, the inconsistency of the scene. And most people are just joking about it, but some people are actually serious about it. It's like, it doesn't nitpick, and it's like, it's the minute details that people are already paying attention to because you're actually giving them so much details, and the scene is so nice that the only details that they can nitpick is the fact that your watch is on the wrong wrist in some scenes. Like, oh wow, so fucking crazy. You feel me? With that being said though, right? Continuing with this, you see the car crashing. Boom. So how I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna have it where the camera's behind the character as they're running up. It's gonna be zooming in more, as you can see, and it's gonna basically zoom in on this. Now let's see how it goes. Boom. Now doesn't look super crazy or super amazing, but when you see everything in the full view, it'll look a lot better. Now gotta show them running. Seeing as they're just running right now, I can actually let the camera get out of range for a little bit and see what's more going on. Now this helicopter got really close for some reason. These are AIs, like I said. This is not modded, nothing. For some reason the AI was that low to the ground, so it makes realizing what the fuck's going on a lot easier when you let the scene play out a little bit without making too unnecessary edits. So we're gonna be moving up, right? I'm gonna have it where it's gonna be going through this way. Nah. Because I was gonna have initially where the scene will continue moving, showing off the cars, showing off the dead bodies, and then I was gonna turn it to like this way. Nothing too crazy, right? And I might actually go with that, but at the same time, to make it more simpler for you guys, I kind of have it where it's like this, and just watching it. Honestly, let's go with the more complicated one because I prefer more complication, in all honesty. It looks better when there's like the camera's dynamically moving and shit. It looks way better than it is like just kind of following like a magical track. Because at the end of the day, right, abuse the fact that this isn't real and the fact that you can do technically impossible shots. Like some of these shots, you can make shots look really impossible because they are impossible. There's no way you can keep the camera like that so still and everything. So with that being said, let's continue with this. Oh, he didn't even die. What? I thought he died. That's crazy. Alright, well, seeing as the guy didn't die in the car crash, I should probably have it where it's not focusing on the fact that he didn't actually die. I could have sworn this guy died in this scene because he crashed so hard, but fuck it, bro. Little Timmy's good, bro. Nigga kept his head down too. He ain't trying to die. With that being said, move it up, doing like this, boom, boop. Fix it. Even I make mistakes and not, you feel me, keep the blend on properly. Do it like this. He gets shot, falls out. The helicopter actually, in case you didn't notice it, lost its, I believe it lost his back propeller. So since he lost his back propeller, this guy's been for a crash. Now I actually know where he crashes because I remember this. He'll crash over next to this tree. Now that's going to look real nice because you're going to just see that he crashed behind the building, and depending on how I make this scene, like for instance start flying up and looking at the helicopter instead of the people, look real nice. So smooth, boom. Boom. Let it crash. Boom. It didn't crash perfectly behind the building, and it doesn't really matter too much, right? It actually crashed on top of the building. So I have it where it's like following like this. Zoom in. Probably be like right here. Boom. Then the camera will just like literally sprint back over to this area, or it'll stay up in the sky. Probably make more sense for it to stay up in the sky, move over this way. So it's showing that more cops are coming. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, there shouldn't more cops. Oh, actually, no more cops came this way. Another helicopter came around, and then boom, right here. Now, some of you might have already noticed the fact that we're almost out of this right here. We're almost out of scene. And you may have thought I stopped saving it right here, but no. When you're recording a very long time of Rockstar Editor, it's normally, if you're standing still and there's nothing going on in the background at all, I think you have a cinematic that's literally like 45 seconds long, or you can have it up to, I think you have a cinematic that's actually like 2 minutes long. But not all the time you can get that. Sometimes it won't properly work. Now if you look up in the top right screen, it'll say there's a minute 14 left. That's because there's another scene that I didn't take off previously that I was working on, but that's besides the point. With that being said though, now the scenes basically end, and now you have to do the rewatch. Now you have to rewatch this, make sure that there's nothing that you don't want to be seen here. Now understand, this entire time we went from here all the way, I can't show it that way because it look I'm kind of already, you feel me, spoiling it, all the way over to here, and we're shooting out a fucking helicopter and it crashes over on a building like this. That's very dynamic, that's very interesting, that's very fun. In all honesty, it's fun to watch, it's fun to make. This is something that will take time, but in all honesty, for me, this might seem like it took me like what, a really long time to do this. It's very complicated, like I was really confused in some parts. Like, nah, sometimes you'll come up with a spot where it's like, maybe I could fix it here, maybe I could do that. But my scenes are actually a little bit more complicated because I put more into it. I'll put more depth of view into here, I'll put more effects into here. This is like literally the same effects I was showing off in the other videos. This is not the effects I make. These are not the effects I use. I use different ones. With that being said though, right, this is basically done with some minute changes that will really like spice up the scene, right? Yep. That's basically it, right? It'll basically be done. It'll look a lot better because trust me, there is some things in this game that if you really just, well, not game, but in this editor, that if you just flip the switch on and tweak a little bit, it makes the scene like 10 times better. But I already showed you what they are, so with that being said, boom, let's go. Oh wait, so you can actually see without that extra stuff on, boom. See, I'm glad I actually did this, because if you just render it and you didn't actually pay attention to that, could have actually rendered the entire thing and you had to make an unnecessary cut when you didn't need to. So, good thing I rewatched this. Boom. That looks good to me, not gonna lie. It looks really good. Now, this is super complicated. This is very difficult to do if you don't know what you're doing, because again, this all required you to know good camera placement. It requires you to know depth of view properly. It requires you to know how to do your effects properly to make the scene just look more pleasing, and you can show the darkness better, make the atmosphere look a lot better. It requires you to know a lot, you know. With that being said though, right here, you already saw it during it, like right here there wasn't much going on. So honestly, I could have had it where the camera could have started moving more this way. Do it like this, boom, like a slight detour, and then, you know, let's rewatch it one more time, like just to see it. It's the minute details. At this point, you've already seen that the cinematic is really nice, it's really clean, it's basically done. It's literally basically done. But there's a part where I want to fix it, so go ahead and fix it. But at the same time, understand there's parts where you're just gonna have to let it be and just release it anyway. There's plenty of times where I released a cinematic that I thought wasn't too good, but people were like, oh, this is super amazing, oh my god. And it's because it's just the minute details. You're the creator, you're gonna nitpick your stuff. Alright, with that being said though, this is it. This is cinematic, like this is it. Like, you feel me? Like, this is already 10 times better than most people's cinematics that they like ever will release. So with that being said, if you follow this step by step and actually pay attention to everything I've said in literally all the videos I've been making previously about this, you're golden. Like, you're already gonna be making some of the best cinematics out here. You feel me? So with that being said, right, would you rather make cinematics like this, or you rather continue making cinematics that you've always been doing that's kind of the same bland old shit? To me, I say it's better to do this. Right? It's way better to do this. But this is my own style. You guys are gonna have to make up your own style eventually off of these videos, and hopefully you do develop into your own style. If you've come into my style, you feel me, like my style, in all honesty, does not use slow-mo. Like, I'll use it occasionally when I'm reminded. Like, if I just watch a video where I saw somebody use a lot of slow-mo and I saw one scene that was like really nice for slow-mo, I might remember that to use slow-mo. Or if I'm editing to something and I needed to slow down for a little bit, right, and put more emphasis into it, go ahead, boom, put it in slow-mo. But for this, bro, there's no point of me putting it in slow-mo. My style does not require a slow-mo because there's no need for it. There's just literally no need for the slow-mo. This is all continuous. This is literally all one shot. This is all one shot. Like, for most people, they'll make unnecessary cuts in between this because they'll feel like you need to, and in all honesty, you don't need to. You don't really need to. But at the same time though, this is also your own opinion at the end of the day. If you really feel like this entire cinematic was really terrible and oh no bro, my cinematics where I'm standing still and preset forward is better, bro, by all means, man. Like, each their own, but just understand, like, that shit's like, just anybody can make that, bro. Like, anybody. And at the end of the day, if you're trying to make something truly interesting, to do something good, you gotta do stuff like this. You gotta put the time into it. This probably took me like, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes to make. If that, I can honestly make this stuff in like 5 minutes. But at the same time though, it could also take me an hour if I'm really stuck on something. But in all honesty, I don't get stuck on too much stuff because if it's really complicated, I already know what I'm doing pre-hand. So I'm not moving into the scene not knowing what I'm finna do. Also, there's a little thing I'll end this off with when it comes to references and stuff. You can use references. Like if you've seen like how somebody edited previously in the past and you want to emulate that, like say for instance you want to emulate Stepful's cinematic, right? For like just a scene, right? Like make a homage to it. Like say you did something in this cinematic that you want to recreate. Go ahead and recreate it. That's fine. That no one's against, no one's saying no. But understand, right? Don't make a habit out of it, and also make your own style so that people don't really feel like you're just leeching off of somebody else's style. Nobody wants to be, you know, the ghetto light version of whoever, right? You gotta be your own person and make your own cinematics for that. Now, if you're not really worried about making super amazing cinematics, but you want to have some decent ones just to post in for your videos for whatever, like, you don't need this level of cinematography. But if you have it, it's just like anything in life. Like, bro, let's be honest. Do you need to be an amazing basketball player? No, but if you're a really good basketball player, you might be able to go to the NBA, or I don't know, you'll be able to play basketball better. You'll enjoy it better. So with that being said, man, I'll talk to you guys later. This is basically it at this point. I'm gonna make probably one more video going over some other stuff, but I've already taught you everything you'll need for Rockstar Editor that in my mind is the important part. I could talk about more in detail, talk about some other stuff. I'll probably show off how to do some cinematics with cars, or how to do it in certain areas and type. But other than that, this is the general shit. This is the stuff that if you can master the 5 videos I just posted, like for this, it's over. It's done. Like, you're already one of the best Rockstar editors out here. You could be a better Rockstar editor than me if you follow this. If you follow this guide, all that, you could be better than me. With that being said, talk to y'all later.